299 yards for the Raiders and 293 yards for the Broncos. Do you think these are receiving yards from the last game? No, guys, these are punting yards. Yeah, this was a high punting yards game. Both quarterbacks couldn't even cross the 150 passing yards mark, and again, the Raiders found another way to lose the game. Man, what the hell did we just watch? That wasn't football. That was a defensive slugfest wrapped in pain and frustration. If you love punting, this was your Super Bowl. For the rest of us, it was a headache. How do you hold the division leader to 10 points, force turnovers, rack up 2 sacks, and still lose? The Raiders are like an artist. They keep finding creative new ways to torture their fans. What's up, Raiders Nation? Welcome to the NFL Playbook, Raiders. Let's start with the positives because, believe it or not, there were a few. The defense came to play. And I mean, they came to punch people in the mouth. From the very first snap, it was clear they were ready for a fight. The Broncos came in with momentum. Bo Nix playing mistake-free football the past few weeks. And what happens? 2 interceptions. 2, courtesy of Kelly, who absolutely read Nix like a children's book. Those were clean, smart, well-timed plays. The kind of defensive awareness we've been begging for all season. Kelly wasn't alone either. The entire secondary was dialed in. Tight coverage, smart positioning, and great tackling. None of that soft zone crap. They challenged every throw, made every catch contested, and it paid off. You could tell Bo Nix was frustrated. This wasn't Oregon anymore. He was getting hit, hurried, and confused. The kid had no rhythm. Raiders defensive backs deserve a ton of credit for that. The D-line, while not racking up crazy numbers, still did solid work. 2 sacks may not sound like much, but the pressure was consistent. They made Bo Nix uncomfortable, flushed him from the pocket a few times, and forced him to throw off balance. But here's the difference. When we pressured him, he at least got rid of the ball. When they pressured Geno, he got buried. That's the contrast that defined this game. Because on the other side, the Broncos front absolutely dominated. 6 sacks. 6. Let that sink in. Their defensive front bullied our offensive line all night. It was embarrassing. Geno had no time to breathe. Every drop back felt like a fire drill. Even when he did get time, the routes took too long to develop or receivers couldn't separate. The Broncos' pass rush dictated the entire game. It's crazy. Before this week, everyone was talking about how their defense was slowing down. Well, they sure woke up against us, and our offensive line completely failed the assignment. Now, I'm not going to put this on Geno. The man showed heart, took shot after shot, played through a thigh bruise, and still kept his composure. His numbers, 16 of 27 for 143 yards, 1 interception, don't tell the full story. That pick wasn't his fault. The ball bounced right off his Genty's hands. He was trying to make something happen, and his guys didn't help him. Geno actually played smarter than the stat sheet suggests. The problem wasn't him. It was everything around him. And that starts with protection. Losing Jackson Powers Johnson to that ankle injury is a huge blow. The dude's been one of our few consistent blockers. Now he's out for a while, Parham's got a high ankle sprain, and Colton Miller's still not 100%. That's 3 key linemen either hurt or out. Geno's basically throwing behind a makeshift line built on duct tape and prayers. Still, there's no excuse for 6 sacks. You can't run an offense like that. It kills rhythm, kills drives, kills morale. The Broncos weren't even blitzing half the time. They were just winning their matchups up front. Then there's the play calling. My God, what the hell was that? 3 targets for Brock Bowers. Just 3. 1 catch for 31 yards. You're telling me that's the plan? That's your game-breaking weapon. The guy who can change the game on 1 play and you barely use him? That's coaching malpractice. I don't care what the coverage looks like. You find ways to get him the ball. Put him in motion, line him up in the slot, run a jet sweep, anything. Don't just leave him as a blocker or a decoy. That's wasting talent. And Jack Betch? 1 target. That's it. What's the point of calling someone a starter if you don't even throw his way? The Broncos secondary is good, but they're not unbeatable. You have to make them work. Instead, our offense looks scared. It was checkdowns, screens, short slants, no creativity, no shots downfield, no attempt to stretch the defense. It's like Chip Kelly's playbook is stuck in neutral. Every week, it's the same predictable rhythm. Run on first down, incomplete on second, sack on third. Rinse and repeat. And the saddest part? Even with all that, we still could have won because our defense gave us chances. Denver's offense wasn't doing anything special. They just didn't screw up. They played cleaner football. That's the only difference. Both teams were under 200 passing yards. Both had a handful of first downs, but the Broncos capitalized when we didn't. And let's not ignore the special teams because that's where the game really turned. Blocked punt, missed field goal.
In a low-scoring game like this, those are death sentences. That blocked punt completely changed the field position. And when your offense can't move the ball, giving the opponent a short field is like handing them points. Then you miss a 48-yard field goal that would have tied it? Brutal. That's the game. 6 points left on the field, and we lose by 3. You can't make this stuff up. The defense did everything they could. Special teams gave it all back. Now, I've got to give Bo Nix a bit of credit. He didn't light up the scoreboard, but he managed the game well. He stayed calm after those early picks, didn't panic, and made just enough plays to keep drives alive. That's what good coaching looks like. The Broncos adjusted. We didn't. Simple as that. Nix didn't beat us with talent. He beat us with discipline. And that's the difference between a team that's learning to win and one that still hasn't figured out how. You look at the box score, and it's almost identical across the board. 10 first downs apiece, 188 total yards for us, 220 for them. Time of possession nearly even. The difference wasn't ability. It was execution. They made fewer mistakes. Their offensive line gave their quarterback a chance. Ours didn't. And that's why we're 2-7. And the coaching staff, they need to take a long look in the mirror. Pete Carroll's supposed to bring toughness and discipline, but this offense looks scared. Chip Kelly's supposed to be an offensive mind, but right now the game plan is as predictable as a sunrise. It's painful to watch. No adjustments, no urgency, no creativity, just static football. You can't win games like that in today's NFL. You can't keep asking your defense to do everything. Let's be real. This game was a microcosm of the season. The Raiders play hard, fight tough, but always find a way to lose. Close games, self-inflicted mistakes, and coaching that doesn't help. You can feel the effort, but not the progress. That's the difference between potential and production. And it's heartbreaking because you can see the foundation here. You've got Geno, who's still got heart and leadership. You've got Bowers, who's a star waiting to be unleashed. You got a defense that can go toe-to-toe with anyone. But the execution, the details, the adjustments, they're not there.
Losing Jackson Powers-Johnson hurts badly. That's your anchor up front, gone for weeks. It's going to get worse before it gets better unless they make real changes to how they call plays and protect the QB. You can't just keep running the same stuff and hope it works. That's insanity. Adapt to what you have. Scheme quicker throws, more movement, give Geno easier looks. Stop putting everything on him when the line can't hold up for 2 seconds. But here's the crazy thing. Even with all of this chaos, even with the O-line falling apart, the missed kicks, and the bad play calling, the Raiders still went toe-to-toe with the division leader. They matched Denver blow for blow. That shows heart. That shows fight. The defense gave everything they had. You can build from that. But the frustration is that we've said this same thing every week. Good effort, tough loss. Enough of that. At some point, effort has to turn into execution. The Raiders didn't get outplayed in Denver. They outplayed themselves. Again. The Broncos didn't win this game. We lost it. And that's been the story of this season. Close games, wasted chances, and too many almosts. But you know what? This team's got the bones to turn it around. They've got heart. They've got leaders. They've got fight. Now they just need to stop beating themselves. If there's one takeaway from this mess, it's that the defense is for real. Kelly's emergence is huge. The secondary's tightening up. The tackling's better. The energy's there. That's the identity. The offense and special teams, they've got to catch up. You can't waste performances like this. So yeah, I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, and I'm tired of saying the same thing every week. But I still believe this team has the guts to figure it out. You can see it in flashes, the toughness, the potential. It's there. They just need to clean up the execution, protect the quarterback, and start trusting their weapons. Geno can lead this team if you give him the tools. Bowers can change games if you let him. And the defense can keep us in every fight. The pieces are there. The puzzle just needs someone smart enough to put it together. Until that happens, we'll keep getting nights like this. Games we should win, games we fight like hell, and games we hand away in the final moments. The Broncos didn't beat the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Raiders. Again. And that's the part that stings the most.